What's up, everyone? And welcome to what we like to call the Saturday night show.
Mm-hmm.
We're standing up because we've been working outside all day, and to be honest with you, we are just miserably wet.
Yeah,
because it's just sucked.
it is.
And it rained, and we're getting wet, and we're sweating wet, and then it was humid. Like, I don't know what was worse, the rain or after the rain. I feel like it was after the rain.
I think the whole day. That was just insane.
Yeah. But with that being said, so hang on. So you guys are chiming in. Frank, got to call you out first. First is Frank. What's up? Jester. And then Pizza Dave. Good evening from Vermont. And then down here, Pizza Dave says, super busy Saturday night. And we often talk about pizza on this show because it is one of my favorites. And since I was waiting on you to get back, I pulled up this. This is one of the pizza places we talk about all the time, which is Madison Avenue. You can follow them on Instagram as Madison Avenue. This was this week's pizza. Every week they do a crazy pizza. Okay, so let me read this to you. This week's special, the Stoner Special. This is the first run of a brand new creation. It starts with a honey chipotle sauce base, and it's topped with mozzarella, cheddar, hand-breaded nuggets, tater tots, bacon, oven-roasted long hot peppers, red onion, homemade ranch, and green onion. Come try it all week at Madison Avenue Pizza. Now, that sounds like a yummy pizza, doesn't it?
That's like, yes.
It sounds so good.
No, it doesn't sound. It looks so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at
that.
So this is their Instagram page.
I like it.
Yeah. So this one was Best of the Bay pizza made with pizza sauce base, homemade fresh mozzarella, fresh garlic, oven roasted long peppers, sliced. I don't even know how to pronounce soprazza. I don't know. Fresh basil, locally made honey, and our good friends. So they're starting to put honey on pizza.
I know.
I don't know. Hey, well, I mean, it can't be any worse than pineapple. Think about it. It's just adding a little sweet to it.
Okay, I guess.
mean, and when you heat up honey, it does
just a little bit, right?
Yeah, they're not going crazy with it.
Yeah.
It's not like they're rubbing it down.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I just okay. Well, hey. There you go.
I like that. That one.
There you
See,
go.
that's
There
my
you go.
type of stuff.
Yeah, they have full bar. But anyways, I just wanted to share that with us.
Yeah.
Because I think it's cool. And then also this week, now for those of you guys that got questions and you want to ask questions, go ahead and get them queued up.
What's up, Bobby?
What's up? Uncle Bobby B. Remember that, Bobby? Remember when we made that for you?
Who named Bobby B? Bobby B.
It was Instagram. We were talking about Bumblebee, and I was like, Uncle Bobby B, baby. Uncle Bobby B. Yeah. Bernie Mac. Anyways, for those of you, all right, I'm just going to pull it up. So for those of you that know, you know, SQology was a podcast. They also put on some shows and stuff like that. Clifton this week asked the question, hey, we're thinking about getting back into the podcast game because why not, right? And is it not working?
I don't know. It's going to.
Okay. No, you're fine. Keep doing what you're doing.
I know.
Anyways, so he asked who, and I got a call or I got a text. I should say. And he was like, hey, we're going to do this. And I was like, yeah, I know. And he goes, would you like to be on the show? And I was like, yes, I do. And I'd love to. So at some point, I guess I'm going to be on the SQology podcast. And I'm really excited about this because like this podcast, when they were doing it back, him and Ben Zimmerman, this is where our first experience with Andy Waymire was. Because I had never met Andy and everyone was talking about Andy. And I looked them up, and their podcast was the first time I had heard him, and we found out about Audio Frog. That was like when he was talking about where they came up with the name, where he just put a bunch of names on shirts, and he'd walk around with the shirts on and see which one people were like, and then Audio Frog. The reason why they named it Audio Frog is because people thought it was a cool name, and they were like, so he did his own experiment, typical Andy, overdoing it and coming up like, hey, let's just make fake names and see which one resonates the best.
Yeah.
And Audio Frog works. It's kind of genius if you think about it. But anyways, I'm kind of looking forward to this. I'm like, anytime someone asks me to be on a podcast, I really like doing it. It's kind of fun. So this will be cool. And of course, we'll let you know when it's actually going to happen. So that if you want to download it, watch it, or whatever, you can, because that's what it's all about. And then let me shut that off, our picture in a picture there. And then also, not that, I don't know why I did that. Also this, because my brain is baked from being outside all day. Ooh, look at that. New artwork in the upper, we call them lower thirds, but I know they're upper thirds. Moscone-America. And I used both of the new DSP 1 amplifiers, Series 1. So we have the new one 8 to 10, and we have the new one 6 to 10, which also just happens to be sitting right there. These, of course, are all Barney compatible amplifiers. So if you're interested, you can head over to mosconeamerica.com. If you'd like even more information, I should put it up there also. Put Gladen. Go to gladen.com.
Gladen.com.
Because Gladen.com will also take you to even more information. So if you'd like to learn more about these products, by all means, check them out and become one of the masters of the universe.
Masters of the universe.
I don't know.
That's a lot.
Why not? All right. Ooh, let's start with this one because it just looks like. Thanks for the advice. I reached out about the amp and I was able to get assistance remotely from Joseph Norton. Good guy.
Norton.
He remotely corrected my tune, including timing. He's a whiz. And he's a hell of a guy. And he's like this tall.
He's super tall.
He's super tall. He's a big guy. Super nice dude. He's got a cool dog. Yeah. Hopefully we can see him in Vegas this year.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, it seems like a good place, but that's the last time we saw him in Vegas. Fro, just stopping by to say hi, cleaning gutters right now.
What? You're not working today?
No, he doesn't work on Saturdays.
What the heck?
He works like 4 days. He's like the auto workers. He's just only he wants like a raise and work 4 days.
He's the owner of Stereo King?
What if he started on that ridiculous build that he was telling me about?
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
What was that ridiculous?
I'm not even going to talk about it because it's not my thing.
Okay.
What's up, Cuddy? Checking in from York. Question: Forerunner build. I have 50 watts times 8, but I am trying to boost the front door mids. I may need to bridge the front and delete the mid rear speaker to accomplish this. Thoughts, solutions. So it really just depends on what 50 watt by 8 amplifier you have. If you're doing a 3-way set up front, I mean, losing the rear isn't the end of the world. Okay. A lot of the times what we're doing is, which we talked about a lot on the Instagram show, which for those of you guys that are going, you guys didn't do Instagram this week? What, did I miss it? No, we didn't do any Instagram this week. This week sucked for us.
Yeah.
So, it was good not to go on Instagram. It's much safer for us. Let's just say that.
Safer for you guys.
Yeah. So Dean was in a bad mood all week. It's the easiest way to say it. I apologize to the Alpine guys that made the mistake of coming by this week.
Sorry,
they got
guys.
reamed. Anyways, if you can bridge channels, obviously bridging channels will be the way to go. You get more power to them. If you're putting a radio in the car, so a lot of these nice. Whoa! What are you doing? No, that's dude. If you hit the speaker with a slash on it. Yeah,
I hit it twice. It
was that one right there. See,
it doesn't give me that.
There you go, right there. We're going to answer this question, I promise.
Yes.
So what we do a lot of times when we're doing like a Kenwood or an Alpine or Sony or something like that has a set of crossovers, time delay, and all that, was actually put the rear speakers on the radio. And how that works, because we've talked about it before, if you try to run your speakers with speaker output power with the RCAs, they don't track. The speakers will distort way faster than the RCAs. So what happens is the rears just overwhelm them. Fader doesn't fix it. But when you get into the better radios that have level control for channels, so like Pioneer, JVC, Kenwood has it, Sony has it, Alpine has it in the crossover. It allows you to turn the power output down. And since you're not using the rear RCAs, you're using the amplifier, basically what you're going to do is if this is 0 on the level, you're going to take it down 12 dB. And now what happens is they will actually track. So when you're loading up the volume on the RCAs to be full volume, you're not overloading the input in the factory amplifier, causing it to clip. So that allows you to use that power for the rear speakers. It's just an option, but yes, you may have to lose the rears, but that's a way to keep the rears.
See? He knows.
Don't get mad at Nando. It's his first day.
It's my first day.
It was his first day.
And my last day.
Yeah, for sure. I was actually thinking about this. Okay. But that's reverb? Yeah, that's his.
What's up?
Oh, look who it is. Does Nano need a hug? Actually,
come on, buddy.
Today, I want my hug this time. Huh? Screw this guy.
Yeah, no kidding.
I want my Phantom Chris hug.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude. Shout out to Paul. Yeah. Shout him out. Mary Lou's selling some headphones. You good? Okay. Would like to see a 5-star 50 one-shop recommendation for each state. Oh,
that's pretty
it's actually
cool.
not a bad idea. And honestly,
it's not a bad idea, but it's hard.
It is, but I think so. You're onto something there because so years ago, we thought about doing something like this where we would have like 5-star recommended install places. Like we'd know the guy, we'd talk to the guy, we'd seen some of their work, and we could recommend them. And it was one of those things where it's like it seemed like a really good idea until we figured out that some people just suck. And even though they're really nice people and we like to hang out with them, recommending their shop isn't always something we want to do because they don't necessarily work the same way we do. And so it's like, then it becomes like, bro, I thought we were boys.
Yeah.
Like we are boys, but you install like crap. What? So we decided not to do that.
You drop the mic and start running.
Yeah. Exactly.
No
kidding. We decided not to do that.
All right. So hang on, because she's like, dude, every time I come in, you never put my comment. Here we go. See that? I did.
I mean, if she says something like, hey, like, I mean,
hey,
could we get something that's like good? I give you a hug, Nando.
There you go.
She gives you a hug.
See, exactly.
But anyway, the 50 state thing, back to that was actually a solid idea that we come up with, but we just didn't know how to move forward with it to where it made sense.
And that's what I'm saying. It's hard.
And besides, like, like some states, it's like, hey, here's a good place. That's like 5 hours away, Do you know anyone closer? No. Here's
no, but we talk about state. It doesn't matter. It's the state. This is the place that I would recommend.
I get it. And there again, it's not anything that I haven't totally dismissed.
No.
But I haven't figured out how to do it in a way that would cover our asses.
Okay.
So.
All right. I'm looking at the ILX 509 and the DMX.
Okay, go ahead. Keep reading. I'm going to save this one.
ILX 509, the DMX 1057 XR, both the same price, other than the warranty and the screen size and the preamp.
You don't have to finish reading. 1057 is the winner in this one.
1057.
1057 is the winner. Now, why is the 1057 the winner? Because
you don't
all right. So, all right. I would get the 1057. Should you get the 1057? Here are the major differences other than what you've mentioned there. The 1057 has so the 1057 has a global EQ, meaning one EQ does everything. The 509, Jesus Christ.
Almost
the 509 does have front EQ, rear EQ, okay? And it does have so it has a bigger EQ in the standard EQ section. It also has left EQ, right EQ, okay? The 1057, though, does have a parametric EQ also that has front EQ, rear EQ, master EQ, subwoofer EQ. So there's 2 bands of parametric for front, 2 bands for rear, 7 bands for everything, and then 1 band for sub. And you can create high shelf, low shelf. You can do a notch filter. You okay?
Yeah, it doesn't appear in there. I don't know why. Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
Man, if you broke the laptop with your ginger ale, it's right there.
You see? But
oh, you probably did something.
it's my no. It's the HDMI. I
No,
can
the HDMI
control.
is fine.
Like
No,
I
no,
can
you-
control this.
No, what I'm saying is you switch the view on it. We'll have to fix it later.
Yeah.
But no, you're fine. It's connected, but it's not.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's connected.
so the 1057 does have a 2-year warranty, which is nice. Now, one of the things in the 509 is the 509 is a single DIN chassis, which makes it a little bit easier if space is a concern, whereas the 1057 is a double DIN chassis. You can on the 509 do title natively, whereas on everything else you'll have to do it through CarPlay or Android Auto. They both have HDMI. Neither one of them has digital.
Yeah.
If you're going to do iData, the graphics for iData and the Kenwood are 100 times better than they are in the Alpine. The Alpine, they're just basic looking, kind of generic. I mean, they're not bad, but they're not like the Kenwood. The Kenwood is pretty dope. So anyways, you have to decide which one you want. But personally, I like
All right, so let's keep talking about radios. Looking for the best double DIN, only one Android Auto wireless, backup camera input, and a CD player.
What's a CD player?
What's a CD player?
I don't know.
Okay. Going in and all radio, no other options really need. So radio, wireless, CD.
Jeez. I don't know. I don't know if there are any. I don't know if there's any CD wireless left.
What is the previous one from the 1057?
I don't
the
know
double
if-
DIN.
Well, yeah, but they don't make those anymore. They haven't had those for a long time. You're talking about the 9 series, but the 9 series doesn't have. 9 series is stripped of the CD player.
Yeah.
The 8 series may come in a. Hold on. The 8 series.
series has a CD?
The 8 series may have a CD player. Because it's not going to be. So the Alpine does make one, but it's like an older unit that they've just kept in the line for the guy that has to have a CD player.
9707S.
Yeah, maybe. Hold on.
And that was not my answer. That was.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me check this.
Thank you, man.
I don't even. Dude, they don't even say anymore.
Bo has an overstock of everything.
Yeah, so wireless, none of those have. All right, so none of those have DVD.
So not the 9 series?
No, none of these. None of the Exelons are gonna have a DVD player.
706?
Nope. No, 706 is short chassis. Hang on.
Cool.
Let me see the reference stuff. Okay,
There you
so
go. That's
the
what I'm
all
talking
right,
about.
so the Jesus.
I mean, hey,
Yeah. If you got the 99, you got
Seven.
the DNX 997. So
XR.
this is going to be your
So I'm gonna-
hold on,
alright, perfect.
wait, wire to wireless, CarPlay or Android
Yeah.
Auto. So
Yeah.
it's this guy right here is the because you got to remember wireless is a premium feature, so it's only available on their premium models.
Now this one has nav.
Of course it does. It's because it's got a disc. None of them. So I mean, this is the 9907.
Yeah.
Has DVD. It does not have nav. So this one might actually be cheaper. But yeah, so those are the only ones that I know of. But Pioneer might still make one, but I'm not up on all their stuff, and I'm gonna buy a Kenwood anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, does the new Sony have CD?
Not the 4000.
Okay.
No.
No. All right. I didn't know.
Thank you, Scott. Scott Rice. Thank you so much, man.
Koozies are the best.
Koozies are the best.
Got my koozie. My RBDFL.com koozie.
Very
It was
good.
the only thing I got from Dallas.
Really?
Yeah. 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 And I got that the last day when I went and met his daughter. She's like, "Oh,
They're so cool. They're so cool."
If I use the optical out on the Toho stereo to a C Mini DSP 8 to 12, will the volume work on the head unit? That is going to be dependent on that particular radio. So I'm not familiar with an Oto. Now, if you mean Toyota and you're doing like an Amp Pro, yeah, but that is dependent on the radio and its ability to do volume. So not all of them do that.
Thank you for the 5, man.
But what is an Otto?
Auto.
Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Amazon.
Hey, why not?
Why not?
All right.
I'd say there is a tool to check it, but the tool costs more than the radio. So
What's up?
It was a ginger ale.
I'm getting my Alpine ILX 511 installed by you guys in 2 weeks.
Awesome.
There you go.
We'll make sure to update it to new 4.0 software so that it will actually be awesome.
Yeah. All right. Ready?
Yes. Which 4-channel amplifier would you pair with a kicker
L7T
12?
Yeah.
Then
Downfire.
Downfire. What? Why would I do a 4-channel on a sub box?
No. I'm guessing he wants to add a 4-channel. He already has
that's the amplified one.
Yeah.
Is that's
yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, they really only have you have the key, which is just if you're going to do like a front stage or something small. So the key is an option because, I mean, we run the key and the key 500.1. So we run the 200.4 and the 500.1 together all the time. So we know the key 200.4 would do the job.
All right. Yes.
Yeah. And then the CS 4-channel. But at that point, I'm still probably going with the key. Check out a key 200.4. Pioneer W4500 NEX or 68 both have optical drive and wireless Android Auto. Yeah, we did, but there was also no update for it. It was 3 years old.
So maybe the W8600. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but that's a okay. I mean, like I said, I'm not hip to the Pioneer model numbers anymore. Hold on. Hey guys, I hope all are well. For my 2023 Ford Raptor, do you prefer the Zen Nav TV or the Amp Pro for this interface? You're probably going to have more success finding the Amp Pro because Nav TV just mentioned that they're on a they're closing down their aftermarket car audio parts and they're over the next 12 months. So yeah. Get the Amp Pro.
Get the Amp Pro.
Or you have 2 other options.
Ooh, here we go.
So no, you don't. You also have Mobridge also. So there's 3 options. There's 4. Metro makes one too, but Mobridge also makes one.
That was awesome.
But yeah, that's right. I forgot that hasn't come out yet. Never mind. Moving on. What's up, homies? What's up, Elias? You're doing great today.
What's up, buddy?
Hi, Dean and Fernando. Would Focal Access 165s work okay with kicker key 200.4 by amp mode? Yes, it would. That'd actually be a really nice combination. Now, I'm going to pose something to you that just want you to think about. For a couple $100 more, you might want to look at the slate fibers. Okay, Access is cool. A little bit more, you can get into slate fiber. Most people don't even know they're there. Okay, they only make 2 speakers. They make a 6-inch tweet and a 6-inch coaxial, but they're really awesome, and they're Italian made. So check those out. I there again, access is cool. No reason not to do it, but you maybe 2 months wait, maybe check out the Slate Fiber.
What's up from Trinidad?
Hey, from Trinidadians. Love the videos. I learned a lot. Thank you. When's the next 911? No idea. We haven't filmed one, so we'll let you know. Do non-DSP amps change the sound much if they're different brands than the radio? All right, so here's the big secret, guys. All Class D amplifiers have some form of equalization built into them to clean the signal. You don't have access to it because it's an EQ on chip that they pre-program and put into the amplifier when they're building it. But every amplifier has its own unique sound. That's why some people hear something and be like, I don't like the way their amps sound. Could be the speakers, but when you have the same speakers and you try different amplifiers, there is a sound from an amplifier. There's no doubt about it. Just like a radio, believe it or not. A Pioneer radio sounds one way, a Kenwood radio sounds one way, an Alpine radio sounds another. And if you put them on an RTA, they all look the same. They all look flat, but there's a different sound going on there in the background. And you should be able to see with an RTA, but you can't. So whatever. Yeah. So, but does it matter if it matches the radio? No, it doesn't. Because if that was the case, if you think about it, JL Audio, Kicker, Rockford, Moscone, Gladen, JP, all these guys would not exist. And the only amplifiers we have in this world are the radio manufacturers, Alpine, Sony, Kenwood, JVC, Pioneer. That'd be it. So no, it's not the case. My question is, I'm getting sound in my speakers from my Epicenter Micro. How can I resolve? Wait, what? My question is, I'm getting sound in my speakers from my Epicenter Micro. How can I resolve this? So,
what?
I'm thinking he followed their instructions on hooking up the Epicenter. So when we hook up an Epicenter, unlike them, we go right before the sub amp or the sub input on the amp, Epicenter Micro. So whatever's feeding, whether it's a DSP, whatever, DSP output off the sub amp, interrupt that, Epicenter Micro goes there. So whatever signal is coming in, whatever it goes through, goes into the Epicenter Micro and then out to the amplifier. Now, if the Epicenter Micro is the only thing you have in your car, you are not getting problems from the Epicenter Micro because it will not backfeed. It can't do that. So, I don't know. Hello, guys.
Big
On the
Jeff.
industry side, do you think the recent shutdown of a major distributor, Audio America, will change the industry at all? Just curious on your thoughts. That's a great
question. Yeah. Yeah,
that is actually a great question. And we did talk about this a lot yesterday because of, now, for those of you guys that don't know what Big Jeff is talking about, here in Florida, one of a big distributor that's been in the industry as long as I have decided that it was time to pull the plug. The problem is the market cap value that they were floating from manufacturers, meaning a lot of manufacturers are going to be hit really hard when they go out because of the money that is owed to them. Some manufacturers have pulled out already and have just been waiting to get paid. So it all depends. So I keep saying so.
So, yeah, keep going.
It could have some impact on some of these companies depending on how bad it is. Because let's say you owe me $250,000. As a manufacturer, that's a kick. Like that's a lot of money that is going to be lost. That's a hell of a hit. That is almost like I'm not going to get paid for 2 months as a national sales manager because that's a loss that we can't recoup.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I feel that depending on how far in debt they are, and from what I've heard, that could be really in debt. It could make some manufacturers feel bad for a while, for sure. It kind of sucks. That is the problem with that business model. If you have somebody that isn't really doing well, it's going to suck. So, I'm curious to see how it plays out, to be honest with you, Jeff.
Yeah, for
Because-
sure. Yeah, well, like you say,
Yeah.
right there. For us
Distributors,
yeah, we might get some of this, and it will get benefit our dealers, I think. So
yeah. And there again, from the like, we supply a lot of the little Paul supplies, not us, but Paul supplies a lot of retailers in the area with product. It just makes it more convenient. So in a sense, we do that, and I know you do that as well. And that was the first thing Paul said, was like, I'm kind of excited. I was like, because we're direct with everything, which is the same as Jeff is direct with everything.
Yeah.
And, but for us, it could be great. For him, it could be great. But for the manufacturers, it could suck.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
All right. This is a good question.
Hold on. One more. Personal question. If you were to pick Alpine or Kenwood, and why? Again, just curious. Oh my gosh,
that's a personal question.
This
is
a
really personal.
This is a real
question.
personal. And after how much I pissed them off this week. So from a Smash Force Productions side of things, meaning Dean's side of things, not 5-star side of things. So 5 stars is Paul's retail store. But from my personal opinion, this is a tough one, because I look at what both of them are doing, and they both have merit in that as the future unfolds, I feel like Alpine is doing a better job addressing the future, because they have DSPs, they have a Halo product,
they moving forward,
which is
sure.
F1.
Yeah.
So I feel that they kind of see the writing on the wall. Plus, they do a lot of OEM stuff, and so in some regards, I feel like they're going in this direction that might be important. On the flip side of that, I feel like some of the products are coming out just don't hold up to
the standards that we,
flagship status. So we were talking about this like the other day. When you look at like a Honda, everyone loves Honda, but if you look at a Honda's kind of basic. But people buy this basic car for a lot of money because it's the motor, right? I don't know. Whereas you can get something else like a Toyota that is full tech, sounds like crap, but full tech, or even a Nissan has a decent amount of tech. Or frick, we won't say Kia, because I don't think that's a fair comparison. But I look at like Kenwood as far as what they're doing is every piece I feel they're coming out with has purpose. Okay, they don't just make stuff to make stuff. But the problem is they're both these Japanese-run companies that the Americans are not the deciding factor anymore. The Asian market is what is driving both of these companies, because we're not as big as we once were, and it's bigger over there. So we have to fight to get these products that, to me, it's like, it's common sense, guys. We need a high-end 3.5. We need a high-end 4-inch. And they both look at me like I'm on crack. How many are you going to sell? Doesn't matter. It's what we need. So on a personal side, I go Kenwood just because I like the Kenwood GUI. I think it's a nicer GUI. But until Kenwood gets off their butt and puts out some DSP action.
But it's like you said, like right now, Kenwood is lacking. And when I say lacking, it's like we don't have what we need.
So I also look at like OEM integration. Kenwood being as tight as they are with iData, that's a key.
Yeah, but now Alpine is going just little by little.
Well,
open the doors for iData.
They are, but and there again, we don't know all the back end on Alpine because they don't tell us, but we know more back end on Kenwood. And this would be a great question to re-ask me again, Jeff, at the end of next year, because this time next year is going to be really interesting.
You think next year or
no, next year for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know when we're going to get introduced to it. I mean, I don't know if they're going to wait till June, July. I don't know if they're going to do like a kind of lay out the. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to drop it all, January and be like, hey, this is what this.
All right. So what Dean is talking about is that.
Plus, for super amount of respect. Thanks. Thank you. All right, go ahead. Hit me with the next one.
All right, next one. Here's a good question. What's the difference between a monoblock amplifier and a 2-channel amplifier?
Ooh. Well, so it's I don't mean to say it like this, but it is in the name. Oh, that's Sage. He's stupid.
Yeah, he's
so
dumb. You're dumb.
So, anyways, let me shut this off real quick.
Thank you.
2-channel amp means it has a left and right channel. You can bridge it, but you're limited as far as what you can do with it after that. So most amplifiers will do 4-ohm stereo, 2-ohm stereo, 4-ohm mono. And how that's done is you're bridging the amplifier, meaning you're doing this internally in the amplifier, and that is what is creating that. Okay, that bridged signal. Yeah, I know. A mono amplifier is 1 channel. That's it. It's one channel that does everything. It is mono. It has dual inputs. Sometimes you might have 4 outputs, but they're internally parallel, so they don't actually. So it is a 1-channel amplifier. Now, because of that, it gives you a little bit more leeway. You can go down to 0.5 ohm in some cases, 1 ohm, 2 ohm, because it's a one channel. So you have all the characteristics of that. Plus, that also depends on how it's designed. When you're building a mono sub-amp, you also understand its intended purpose. And this is kind of the big deal. So when you build a stereo 2-channel amplifier, you assume that it's going to play full bandwidth, right? It's going to play from 20 to 20, which is really like 10 hertz to 30,000 hertz or 40,000 hertz, maybe even 50, depending on how good of an amp. And it may play as low as 5 hertz. So it has to play all frequencies. When you build a mono block, you know it's only going to play from like 5 to 250 or 120 if you're lucky. So that's it. So now we can refine the amplifier and kind of, as they like to say, get all the watts out of it. So if you're going to be running a sub, it does make more sense to run a mono block because you can get a bigger amp that is more efficient for most, unless if the 2 channels in AB class, it's going to draw more current than a mono block equivalent. So if you had a 300 watt AB compared to, and it's supposed to be the same, but the 300 watt is going to be more efficient. Get less heat. Okay, it should draw the same amount of current because it's the same amount of wattage, but the AB class is going to get freaking really hot.
All right, let's keep arguing.
Well, we're going to argue?
Yeah.
Okay. What about Pioneer versus Sony?
Sony.
Really?
Yeah.
Going Sony?
I'm going Sony.
Because you got the new ES?
Yeah, you have the new ES. All the components. They trying to make, of course, way better.
Okay. Did that sound terrible?
No,
we have audio back, but it probably sounds hollow as could be.
Right.
Sorry about that. Well, it's probably a good thing that the audio cut out on that one.
Changing the battery, Sometimes you have to do it. sound is gone.
Okay. You know, it's funny too, because I was sitting there and I was like, man, when is the last time I changed that battery? I'm sure it was on the show sometime, but because it only cuts out on the show.
Oh, no,
Okay.
that's the only one.
All right. So next question.
All right. Hold on 1 second.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Read it.
All right. Second question. GZ52. How do the audio control coaxial components compare to the Exelon or the old MB core?
There's nothing ever
Compare?
that is going to compare to the old MB cords. Ever. They're legendary.
Really?
No. I don't know. I wasn't an MB cord fan, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but like you work with the MB core.
Nope.
I mean, you never put it on? You never put a set?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I hated them.
Not even like, hey, a customer can't,
Hey,
hey,
you know
bro,
how sometimes
just
I have a really bad attitude and customers get mad and they walk away?
Yeah.
That's intended. Mine was always that way with MB cord. I didn't want those god-awful, screechy-ass speakers.
You were a hater.
I was a total hater.
You still.
Oh, yeah,
anyway.
no, total hater. You know, if it wasn't Orion, it sucked. I haven't heard enough of the audio control components yet. We just got done designing some brackets for Jeff today for the Bronco that they're building. Did you get to hear Jordan's car yet?
No.
Yeah, I really.
But you heard.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, Eccles. Yeah, it was nice.
All right, so let me know if you sound back, because I want to know. It still says.
I mean, you could probably just hit the volume.
No, I don't want to.
I mean, oh no, well, no, there's still audio. Should still be there. Yeah, we got audio. Yeah, it's okay.
All right.
All
Sounds
right.
good. Yes.
Yep.
All right. Thank you. Thank you,
Sounds
guys.
We didn't say anything worth talking about anyway.
Yeah,
Let's be
exactly.
honest. I mean,
We're talking about you guys.
Saturday's just an amazing thing if you can get anything accomplished. Did we answer all of these?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to.
All right, so
Yeah.
I got that one. Did we? Got
That
that
one? Yeah, you got
All
that
hold
one.
on. Hide current comment. This was earlier in the show when we were talking about stuff, and it was like tension in the industry is insane. Can we all just get along? Yes, and we. So one of the problems that we have is we have to get along with everybody because of what we do. And
I mean, we don't have to.
we don't
We're
have
just
to, but we try to.
trying
We try to.
Yeah.
We try to put a positive spin on everything because
It's hard.
It is sometimes. So
All
We
right.
got that one.
Next one. Here we go.
Is it this one?
No,
Oh
no,
no.
hang on.
Okay. Then we
I'm
gotta
coming.
get
I'm
that.
coming.
Okay. Best way to get good signal out of a cheap head unit. So here's the problem. The best way to do it is to pick up. Well, it's way up there. The audio control matrix.
There you go.
Okay. So the matrix is an audio control line driver,
What about an LC1i?
which is also available in an LC1i. So the LC1i, like there again, I don't know how many channels you need, but if you're trying to find an affordable way to do it, so this is the LC1i right here, and it's a line driver. So notice how it has RCAs on both sides. So unlike the LC2i and the epicenter is 2, but you're not going to be using that for the mids and highs. Whereas the LC1i, you can, so you can get a better signal. Now, the reality is the even best way to do it is to get a DSP that maybe has Bluetooth and stream directly into the DSP, or just buy a better radio. But
I just want to. I'm sorry, but I would say, you know what? Just get a better radio.
well, and at the end of the day, that's the problem because
Man,
if you
'cause
think
you-
about it, well, if you think
You
about
keep
it,
adding.
like that's $150. That's
Yeah.
probably $89.
You keep adding a lot of stuff. So.
Yeah, I
spend
know.
the money right.
Yeah.
Hey, El Fernandez, what's up, man?
Hey,
Hey, man, I have to send you the bracket. So
Yeah, we've been working on
next
Ooh,
week.
Man, so something we're going to show you guys next week, but I'm not going to show you right now because that would be no fun. But we have this box that just showed up from these guys, and look at that model
2
number.
boxes, but yeah.
Yeah, this is the cool one though. Ooh.
Yeah, that's the
Ooh,
cool
I'm just going to do that. Okay, we'll show you it next week. And El Fernandez is going to build Fernando a box for him, so that's really cool. All right, here we go. Speaking of Alpine, I had a 7909 CD player back in the day. Me too. Used to install in the early 90s, had all the Rockford stuff. We weren't friends. Soundstream, Soundstream amps and subs. Oz. It was a sticker. Oz Audio. It was a sticker they put on the phone. It was kind of weird. Really? Components in my car. Pioneer made some great stuff back in the day. The Z1 Pioneer, I think it was the Z1, AVIC Z1.
Mm-hmm.
That was like one of the first big touchscreen radios. It was like $1,800, $1,900, $2,200 by the time you're done, because you had to buy everything separately.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to buy the external Bluetooth dongle. You had to buy a CD changer. You had to buy all this crap.
Wow.
And they had a TV tuner, I think. So we just had it on the board, and then we just had all the accessories around it.
Z1000?
Yeah, it was like a Z1, I think. Either way, I don't remember, but it was great because we just sold the crap out of those. Just get the $700 DSP amp
for your budget.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, but like no, hang on, because if you used to have the radio,
it all travels downhill.
Use the DSP, you used to get bad signal, right?
Yes.
So unless you're gonna do like Bluetooth from whatever or straight from your phone to the DSP, is weird. So.
Well, that's okay. So you could have all right. So let's look at this as the I like to use the Hawaiian waterfall. So you can go the Hawaiian waterfall. Okay. So you're driving through Hawaii, you see all these beautiful waterfalls.
Yes.
And for some reason, you just want to run up underneath one of these waterfalls, right?
Yes.
So you know what's up on the top of the mountain?
The sun?
No, the wild pigs.
Oh.
And the wild pigs are eating next to the river that is feeding the waterfall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not only are they eating, they're also pooping and peeing.
Oh.
So as you're underneath the waterfall having that God moment, just know that the wild boar up top are pooping in it on your face. So they tell you if you're going to play in the river, if you're going to play in those, make sure you keep your mouth closed and all that other fun stuff. So what is the purpose of that story is garbage in, garbage out. It doesn't matter what's in between. If the first thing you have is muddy water, you could pass through the cleanest pipes in the world. You're still going to be putting out muddy water. So the source is important. Now, the $700 DSP amplifier that has some form of an auxiliary input so you can bypass the original radio. Yeah. But if radio is the intended purpose. By the way, this segment is brought to you by the fine folks at Audio Control. We were talking about the speakers. There they are, the new PNWs. You can check them out. audiocontrol.com. For those of you guys that are Chrysler guys and you have that Alpine system in your car and you're like, damn it, this Jeep Dodge something sounds like crap. There's no tweeter, but I have the Alpine or premium audio system. There's nothing I can do because that's a 2-ohm 3.5. Well, guess what? By my beating the crap out of them, the guys at Audio Control said, hey, we can make a 2-ohm 3.5. Dean, back down. So they have a 2-ohm 3.5. So you can swap out your factory crappy 2-ohm 3.5s that have no tweeter, pop 2 new tweeters right in, or 2 new 3.5s with tweeters right in. You'll keep the same volume, but you'll add that much needed treble that you're missing right now. How cool is that? So check it out at PNW. Check out the PNW speakers at audiocontrol.com.
There you go, PNW. All right.
Yeah. What system would you place in a 2021 Passat currently stock head unit with JL-C1 front and rear, JL10 sub, and both kicker key amps running front stage, looking for volume and clarity? So the one nice thing about, you already got a pretty okay system. All right, let's just say that. C1s are the entry-level JLs, so there is definitely room for improvement there.
Of course.
But you got a kicker key. Kicker key makes a great line driver.
Mm-hmm.
So you already have all the work done. You can actually feed the kicker key into anybody else's amplifier that will take high-level input. So you can get into a much bigger kicker amplifier that will have more power. So like in their Marine line, they have a 4-channel that is more power. It's like 75 or 100 watts times 4. Or they make a 6-channel also that you can bridge. So you can put a lot of power to a set of mid bass and some power to a tweeter. And you can feed it all with the kicker key. So if you like the way it sounds, you just wish it was louder, you don't have to get rid of the key. You can use that as your DSP line driver integration piece. Just feed it into one of their bigger amplifiers.
Mm-hmm.
It's that easy, right? You don't have to go that hard.
And
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This is the
Scott.
same question. Thank you for the 10, man.
Yeah, thanks for the 10, man. But yeah, no, that's actually, it was funny because that first time I went to kicker and they were posing that as like an option, and I was like, why would anybody do that? And then I started using the kicker key, and I was like, why don't more people do this? Because the key just works so well. How do I find out if my tweeters should be out of phase on my DSP from mids like the Focal? Oh man, I knew that was going to blow everybody's mind. All right, so here's the deal. The reason why those tweeters, the Focals, were out of polarity with the mid bass is because the crossover they were using was a 12 dB crossover. And when you use a 12 dB crossover, in certain cases, what happens is you get a dip at the crossover point. You get a 3 dB down sometimes. Sometimes it's just 1 dB. Sometimes it can be 3 dB. All right. So what happens is like they're both crossed over at, let's say, 5,000. All right. At that crossover point, there's going to be a giant dip, which you can fix with DSP because you can do a boost. But nobody wants to do a boost because boosts are bad. So the simplest solution is just to flip the tweeter 180 degrees, and that will solve that. Mm-hmm. Now, keep in mind, the tweeters are playing frequencies that the mid-range aren't, all right? So it's not like a mid, and this one is backwards, and you lose all the sound. These speakers do not play the same sound as these speakers, okay? So you're not going to have that cancellation problem between a mid-range and a tweeter like you would between a mid-range and a mid-range, or a tweeter and a tweeter, so like speakers, all right? So by flipping that polarity, actually, you're going to fix that dip. This is 12 dB. Now, when you have a DSP, you have infinite adjustability. Most people are running them at 24 dB Linkwitz-Riley. The purpose of the 24 dB Linkwitz-Riley, amongst other things, is to fix this problem, all right? So if you have your tweeter running positive and you have your mid-range running positive and you're using 24 dB Linkwitz-Riley, problem averted. You don't even have to worry about it. It's done. Done. Now, if you're like, no, I have everything crossed over 12 dB, what do I do? The problem is in a car, you have tweeters here and you have tweeters here, okay? You can flip them, easily flip them, but keep in mind, if it's a passive system, it's not as active. So you can flip them and see if you get more sound, more depth in the tweeters. If it doesn't change at all, which is more than likely it's not going to do, then just leave them all in polarity and call it a day. Now, phase, are the speakers in phase? Yes. So by the time they get to your ears, everything is lined up and it's all in phase. And that is really the most important thing, is by flipping them, are we losing the phasing that gets to your ears? Which, no. So none of it is, this is one of those things where it's, oh, should I do that because it's better? No. It's done like that for a reason. And there's a right way and a wrong way, and there's why we do it this way and why we don't do it that way. And there again, sometimes by the time the mid-range and the door and the tweeter and the dash, by the time they get to your ear, even if they were both 12 dB and they were both on the same positive green, it could fix itself because of the way the tweeter is now coming off the windshield and coming back to you. So it could flip itself and you won't have the dip. That's why an acoustical RTA, really cool, because it'll show you what is happening audibly at those crossover points. So you can look at it on an RTA. If there's going to be a dip, you'll see it right at the crossover point. Then you can flip the tweeter and see if the dip goes away. That would be the easiest way to do it if you have the equipment to do it.
All right. Great show, guys. I have some Blam 2-ohm components in the front. For the new rear, should I stick with the 2-ohm or should I use 4-ohm from another brand and balance the gains with the amplifier? So if you have Blams, you're going to want Blams. Always match. Speakers are the most important thing. I don't care what you do for amplifiers, but speakers have to match. It comes down to the sound signature of a speaker. When Guy sounded his speakers, it's the owner of Blam, he wanted them to sound a certain way. And throughout the whole line, they carried those characteristics through. If you just switch it out for just a generic speaker in the back, yeah, it might just be some rear fill. You have it down low for the kids. Cool, I get it. But if it's going to be a part of the system that you're going to try to integrate in with the fronts,
then get blam speakers for the rears. As far as whether you do a 2-ohm or 4-ohm, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're going to balance them the way you want anyway. So,
all right. Running kicker key on by-amp mode. And the speakers have a by-amp mode as well on the crossover box. Should I use the crossover box or run the speaker straight to the amplifier?
That is a wonderful question. Since you read it, Fernando.
Straight to the amplifier, man. You kicker.
much shorter. Much shorter answer.
That's it, man. You kicker key is gonna do the tone.
So when the kicker key goes to set up, it auto sets. Once you flick by amp, it knows that it needs to listen to the speakers that are on channels 1 and 2 to figure out if it's a tweeter or a middler or a mid-range or whatever it is. And then it'll automatically set crossovers for that particular speaker. We have never, ever gotten a set of blown tweeters off of a kicker key.
No?
It's pretty amazing. No. So, no, you do not need to run your passives. Just make sure you have your dip switch set properly. Let it go through its setup before you start jamming on it. So the first thing you do when you're done with the kicker key, especially when you're running it bi-amped active like that, is just do the setup. Because the first song they're going to ask you to do is play pink noise, and that's not going to hurt your tweeters. So just turn it up. Just follow the instructions, and it'll do everything.
We have a great video on our YouTube channel here, so you can find it. Check it out on the kicker key. Check it out. All right, so this is the last question.
It is?
Yeah, that's the last question, man. We gotta go.
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you.
Sorry, go.
Hang on. I'm trying. Right there. Boom.
Are y'all MECP certified? The easy answer to that is no. However, there's a much longer answer to that in that, yes, I've actually done all the work, but then I never took the test.
So you did the whole work and never took the test.
And Beulah, who runs it, is pissed because like, dude, we just take the damn test. And I'm like, I know. He's like, no, seriously, just take the damn test. You've done all the work. Just take the 30 minutes and take the test. And it's like, I know. You should. If you're thinking about doing it, I strongly recommend it. It is a great way to gain knowledge in the industry for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So should I set low pass crossovers on amp or head unit, or use both? Pick one and stick with it. If it's for you, I'm all for using the head unit. If it's for a customer, I prefer to use the amplifier. And the reason why is because I don't need friends going into the radio going, bro, they set this up wrong. So I will set them up on the amplifier and the amplifiers are typically in a place where you can't get to them. So that is that.
Hey, guys.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Moscone, Glade, and Focal Audio Control, and of course, all you guys for taking your time out and watching the show. If you would like to find some cool tools like we use in our installs or something like we talked about in the show, you can head over to DNF Tool Drawer. DNF Tool Drawer is a place to go to find things like the IRTA2, which is the most affordable 2-channel electrical RTA on the planet. It's Lightning or USB for iDevices because Android just doesn't make
a good RTA app. Yes.
Plus, all the stuff we use is located here, so check it out. And of course, DNF Swags is a place to go to find all your swags. And yes, Smash Force Breakfast shirt I should have that up by Monday. So all you guys are like, will you make one? Yes, I will make one. It's coming. My plans are this weekend.
Christian is going to buy one, so yeah.
You guys have a great day. We'll see you back on Monday. For those of you that like more shenanigans, make sure to tune in tomorrow, which is Sunday, for The Boring Life of Dean and Haley. Haley Knows Best. You can find it on my Facebook and or the YouTube channel, The Boring Life of Dean and Haley.
Perfect.
I get schooled by my daughter.
What time?
It doesn't matter.
So just
we announce it like 15 minutes before we go.
Perfect.
That's it, guys. You have a wonderful day. Fade to black.
Bye, guys.